So cute.
Yeah.
Marius is the finest boy. He's so fluffy.
She's so floofy.
He's
No floof.
And he's
Well-
willing to be perceived.
while Jay is
Mhm.
trying to do that, I have a picture I need to post because nothing will ever compare to this.
I'm obsessed.
Oh.
Oh,
He looks slightly startled. Like, photo?
Uh-huh.
Like, who, me?
I thought you were putting it over there. Me? Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
He just sits like such a gentleman.
He's so proper.
I know.
Jay, can we have a channel in the Discord for pet pics?
Sure.
Just for cats.
Yes.
Or
Hey,
dogs.
somebody's got a
Hey.
dog. Right.
yeah.
hey, we
It's
need to
pets.
keep.
all pet.
Yeah,
yes,
pet
yes.
pics.
I have a dog in the house who just sneezed so hard she fell over.
Aw.
Very
Oh.
dog thing to
I have
do.
done that very thing.
Yeah.
Wait, you have?
You heard what I said,
You haven't?
right? What kind of weirdo are you? Hello?
I'm sorry, you have little dainty singular sneeze and then you're done?
Says the woman who goes, "Achoo."
Yeah, but I don't have singular. I have like up to 7 and they knock me out sometimes.
That's true. It
Yes.
is like machine gun.
Mhm.
Yeah, my sister has a friend back in
Like a
Pennsylvania
nasal
who,
Uzi.
who I have heard this woman sneeze before, and she sneezes like a mouse, and it is so funny because she's like almost 6 foot, and just
I'm not.
just
If I ever sneeze and it sounds normal or worse, just know that that fucking hurt.
Right.
Oh. Yeah.
Like
Tiny
Molly over
sneezes
here
are
covered
the
in
breakup
bruises.
sneezes and it hurts less. What?
Aw. Molly over here is covered in bruises. Like,
And concussed.
yay.
Oh yeah, you missed that part.
Thriving.
Oh,
Yeah.
she has a war wound.
No,
She
like
fell
I'm
down the
actually
stairs and
concussed.
said,
Mhm.
what's
Mhm.
old Eddie Murphy's hit?
Would you be
Falling down
staring
the
at a
stairs.
screen, my dear?
Huh?
What now?
No,
Would you be staring at a screen?
Probably not, but we're going for it.
Okay.
yeah. She was taking a crossing route over the middle and just got drilled by a linebacker, and
Yeah, right. You should see the other guy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It
Uh-huh.
His spine
definitely
is in his nose. He's probably. I mean, he'll live, but he won't live well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
definitely was, in case anybody asks, it was not me falling down the stairs.
No,
Mhm,
no, no.
mhm.
No.
It was falling up
From the top.
stairs.
Falling right, much more.
I've
impressive.
done that. I have.
Right?
Broken
I
my
have fallen
finger.
up the stairs.
You
I
can
broke my
fall
finger
up. It's true.
falling up the
Mhm,
steps. It's
Yeah.
don't run in socks on stairs.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially with
No,
new
no.
carpeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Mistake.
Was
Rookie
slick.
mistake. No, like don't do that.
Never had an
Yeah,
issue
I'm
with that.
regretting my choices. But
Aw.
anyway, Kai, you
Anyway.
wanna
Do the
Mhm.
thing. You
Do
know
the thing.
Maybe I'll just make you wait.
I was like,
Anticipation.
mhm.
Anticipate.
Wait a minute. Did you shave?
Yes.
Yeah. It's facial hair. Sometimes
It's
it comes
gone.
and goes.
Yeah, like once a month, I'll just high tide, low tide. Just let
I'm so offended at that. He's noticing something.
my
about
face is glowing unnaturally, I guess.
I'm
Once upon a
mentally
time.
observant.
I'm playing with this guy for like 9 months, and I look like this.
Mhm.
And all right, give me the cat.
Kitty.
Uh-oh.
Aw, cat.
Oh no.
And she's gone.
Mhm.
And I cut everything off, and I come in and sit down. He goes, "Oh my god, Jay, what happened to your face?" I go, "I shaved," and he goes, "Can you put it back?"
you put it back?
I mean, technically yes, but it won't look the
Well,
same.
take
You'll have to wait for it to grow back in. He went, "How long is that going to take? Like a couple days?" No, like
That's not how facial hair works.
that's not how it works, man. Like, yeah, sure. Some people's fuzz grows faster than other people's fuzz, but I don't know anybody's fuzz grows like this in a couple of days. Like,
Y'all will be pleased to know that we have people in our YouTube chat who aren't that one guy who's always
It's
here.
fun.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, hello.
But we
All
still
right, Kai,
haven't-
take it away.
before you do that, I
Wait,
promised. Before you do that,
I'll
I
start number
promised the
2.
guy.
We're almost there.
Oh, yeah. ADHD. Yeah, you're full of crap.
Just be
So
glad I'm
I
eating
promised
food
I
instead
would
of
plug the
distracted.
thing. For
Oh.
anyone who asked, this is what we're playing: the Shadow Scar starter set, which eventually will be a Shadow Scar big old shiny book that you can buy. That I understand is, assuming it comes out on time. The Pontiffs are going to be pissed at me for saying this because they don't have a history of giving a release date. More of a it'll be out when it's out kind of thing. But I have it on good authority that it should come out sometime around Gen Con. So
Ooh.
anyway, you were
Perfect.
saying previously, yada yada. I promised I'd plug the thing.
Molly, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Previously on Shadow's Car.
So we are talking to Tom, the turtle of Jay. Help me.
Malaise,
Thank you. Tom is on the bottom floor. I'm just gonna call him Tom.
which I got a present for, which I'm currently drinking.
Yay. So Tom is on the bottom floor. We're a few floors up. Kai has a way to get there through the ducts, but this is part of his day job, so it's kind of like a sticky situation because
Sticky wicket.
it's supposed to be very separate. Like you're not supposed to combine your day job with like your actual like agency
Ninja
stuff.
stuff.
So all the people there Tom has come within 30 feet up have all turned gray, like actually gray, like not metaphorically, like drained all of the color, withered into sadness, and are lying on the floor due to the crushing weight of the world. Hoshi, Tanamichi, and Rina stay back to watch the cameras. 4, Molly, and Kai go to the broadcasting center. 4 gets hit right in the feels from Tom, falls over, and gets pulled back into the security room. There's a guard in the broadcasting room who's been clearly dead for a minute, and there's a huge bite mark out of his neck. Kai says, "That's definitely not a turtle bite." And the dude falls over, and his bones shatter like glass. Kai goes on our walkie-talkie system to tell the team about it. We're looking at a slow bite. They travel in packs of 4 always. We decide to make the broadcast anyway. Molly tells the Tom that there's a sadness party where everyone wallows in sorrow together to get the Tom to go to the airlock and punt him into the sun. The Tom has a very important council member hanging from his hand, and we decide that Hoshi is going to take Kai's very precious bike, come grab Molly to get her to the sadness monster. Kai is sending death and financial threats towards Hoshi, and he says that if you wreck anything on that bike, you have to tell me where you're from, and she says deal. 4 put a tracker on the bike in case it gets lost. Tanamichi is watching the cameras and sees nothing. Uh-oh. And Rina puts on their spacesuit in case something goes wrong outside so she can protect them. I will say this next bit I did not put in the notes as to actually how freaking cool Kai acted in all of this. So we're just gonna everything that I'm reading picture 10 times cooler than what actually happened. Tanamichi is getting attacked by a slough and is bleeding really bad. 4 is studying the bike but goes away to try to help Tanamichi, but they drop hard. Kai is in the vents to open them for Molly and Hoshi, who are outside and like magnetized to the side of the ship. He hears a sleigh bell, knowing that the creature is coming for him. He says, "I'm just going to reach back and fire behind my own ass," and one shots the thing, then goes to open up the airlock outside so Hoshi and Molly can get back inside. In my notes, in parentheses, words cannot describe how much of a badass Kai is in this session.
Like a
Hoshi
Harlem
is
gun trotter.
Hoshi is driving the bike and notices another slough coming up behind Kai and shoots it before it can get to him. She has a really cool skid move on a magnetized bike to the floor over Kai, who is now lying on the ground, and he yells, "A skid on a magnetized bike?" She responds, "Hey, you're alive. That's what matters," and skirts off to get Molly closer to the Tom. Molly walks up to the Tom and says to put the councilman down or else she will hug him. The yokai put him down, then comes to hug Molly. This ends up draining her really bad, and she uses her inyo to hug the creature with extra love, and the creature poofs away. Did I miss what we ended on, or was that kind of what it was?
That's about where you're at.
Okay.
We ended on the weaponized positivity.
Right.
Got it.
I in my head, Hoshi did the Akira slide, right? Like
Oh yeah. Probably wasn't over me if it was the Kira's love, because that would have peeled a great deal of my entire body off of my entire
No, but
body.
it's more like
in front
the
of you.
peeling of your shadow banana, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's
What?
Tanamichi doing? Because Tanamichi's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanamichi, you good?
And we've
Not really.
so we've one has been fed, 2 have been killed, and the other one is either good now that they've eaten Tanamichi or needs to be killed.
But did they eat enough of Tanamichi
I don't
to
know.
get?
What a weird
I had
question
one
to
hit point
ask.
left
It's a
after
valid
that.
question.
So,
It is a
it
valid
is a valid
question.
question.
You had the. Didn't Rena give you a potion?
Yes, I did.
Well, yes. So I got the flower stem elixir, so now I'm at 6, but I'm
So you have
still out
more
of
to
11.
spare.
But you're
is what
still
saying.
rough.
Right.
It's
Keep
not
in
enough
mind-
for you to
Like,
be able to.
it's not
Yeah.
openly bleeding,
another
but
bite.
it's
Like, are you
still
are you
not good.
stable? Or are you like,
I mean,
Well,
how stable are you?
half
How
health.
stable is concussed, right?
shut up?
Hey, at least it
Damn.
didn't cost an arm and a foot.
Oof.
It should
Ugh.
cost my actual foot.
I was about to say that might be a
I
little
mean-
too
Look here,
close to
Lefty,
home
simmer
for
down.
Hoshi.
I already have.
You've already lost an
I'm
arm.
already missing one arm.
I know.
You're fine.
Technically.
So here you are, some of you, standing in the middle of the, city area. Now what?
So now that Tom go poof,
Uh-huh.
did that instantly like resolve all the decolorization, or is that like slowly seeping back in?
Yeah, like is
You
it
don't
a
see
slow
any
process
evidence of
back,
either one of those
or
things.
is
Except
that
for
Tom?
Helgatha, who was on the floor next to you, the one that Tom was walking away with, who hit the ground, sprung back to life. Her hair started going crazy like this. It's hair, but it's hair in like Medusa sentient snakes kind of way. And the hair shoots in different directions and kind of slaps around like its hands. Turns
Like
lots of different
Eris?
colors.
In Sinbad?
Yes. I was thinking more Crystal from the Inhumans, but it's the same vibe.
Mhm.
And she will walk. Who is closest? That would probably be
I
Hoshi.
thought
since-
Medusa from the Inhumans was the one with the hair.
Oh, it is. Sorry, it is the one with the hair. Yes,
I'm sorry. Did I just beat you, get you on a Marvel Comics trivia?
it's the Inhumans. They're discount X-Men. I mean, if you want to call that a
Wow.
win, like take it if you want to.
You have that
but-
on the internet forever now.
I would say Hoshi's on the bike and Molly stepped down to hug the Tom, so whichever is closest, either the
bet.
Tom's location, previous location, or the bike.
Helgatha will march up to you and go, "Who the fuck are you?"
Well, what a mouth.
I did put rash in the notes, didn't I? Helgatha's
I think
not.
so.
Who does she walk up to and say that?
Yeah, Molly or Hoshi.
Hoshi, you're the closest.
Oh,
No,
damn.
excuse me. Molly is the closest. You're the one who did the positive. You hugged somebody until they went like a hamster held in a fart too long and went.
Mm-mm.
I just reach. I'm still spread eagled on the ground at this point. I just raise an arm up and go. Pest control.
He'll ferret it out for you.
Shush, you. Silence.
Shush.
Molly just kind of freezes and is like, yeah,
What a weasel.
what he said.
Pest control. All right, you and you well, fuck, you know who you are. You all with me, and she'll turn around and start walking towards the Capitol building, whether or not you follow her or not. She doesn't wait. She doesn't check.
Okay. Good. We still have like half our people are still back at a different place.
Sounds like a YP to me. A you problem, and she'll keep walking towards the building.
A YP? I have
Hoshi
never heard
will get
that
off the
before.
bike in case Kai wants to take it, and we'll follow.
Yeah, I'll take the bike. Yeah, I'll sort of just walk the bike with you.
Walk the
with it.
bike like it's a a crosswalk or something. That's funny.
Yeah. We just like kind of like radio to the other guys. Hey, you should probably if we're gonna go to the Capitol building. On
Okay.
tier 1, you guys should probably take the elevator up. I think it'll work for you.
Kai,
fine.
as a native, this is, you probably know this. This is like being invited to the White House. It's or perhaps on a greater international scale, being a guest of honor at the UN. It's even bigger than that.
Now, is this the capital of just this habitat or of the entire station?
The entire station. The Capitol building is where the council both do their job and live.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of sidle up to Hosh and be like, "You might have a better time with these people than I will. I've never met any of them in person."
Just hear that in your head as she will like start trying to like as we're walking touch up a little bit. She's in her spacesuit, so there's only so much she could do. Uh but she'll kind of like stand up a little taller and yet a little bit more congenial. Is that
Good
the right
word,
word?
congenial. Yeah.
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 And just and follow and give you side-eye daggers. and and it doesn't actually seem to be directed at you as in it's your fault, but she needs to do it at someone.
If it makes you feel better, actual player does that to me all the time for no reason at all. Zero reason. I don't deserve it at all. Look at that.
You shoot me in game. Yes,
I
you
do not. I mean, I do, but this is I'm shooting at the bug in your pants. All right.
Listen, I'm in a skin tight armor set in DRG. There ain't no bugs in there.
We've all seen the victory screen where your dwarf went, "How'd that get in there?" and then kicked a bug. Okay. like the phrase, "How did that get in there?" was spoken. It ain't that skin tight, right? There's room. Right.
Anyway. In your head though, everyone will have heard after Kai told her that just damn like very yeah, kind of gotta
how far away is now? Rena's still back
Rina and
with
Tanamichi
Tanamichi.
are in the
Yeah.
But with the elevator up and running with no problems, you should be able to get there zip zip.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's you know.
So I mean, Raina will start head that way. She'll still keep the suit on though, because we still don't know where the other thing is at, and my wind aura of wind is still going.
Right. Franco, yes, the council works from home because they can't be bothered to. You could look at it like they can't be bothered to leave their homes. Or, I mean, you're babysitting like 10,000. How many people live in the station? 10,000, 100,000 people? Who's got time to commute? Like,
and it's easier if they come find you.
right, yeah. They'll bring their
Mhm.
problems to the door like old-fashioned kings.
What, Refuge doesn't have a back to work policy?
I don't think for
I had water in
politicians
my
they
mouth
have-
and I almost just spit it everywhere.
Nice.
You almost got a spit take from me.
I don't think that, at least for politicians, they ever had a go to work policy, right? They didn't change the policy. That's the way it's
I
always
was
been.
gonna say, because I mean, with Refuge being Refuge, it's a massive place, but there's not a whole lot of alternatives to being on Refuge.
Right, yeah, where are they going to live? In
Mhm.
probes floating outside the station.
Space.
Right?
Yeah.
In
But-
space. Right.
Yeah, I suspect if they
In
actually went to
space.
the moon, to the actual moon colony, there would be problems. So,
Kai, speaking of, have you been to the moon's surface?
oh god, I highly doubt it.
Have you been to what's left of Earth?
Oh, no one has. That's yeah. Well, I mean,
There's
I've
no
got a
one from
bag of
Earth.
dirt, but
I've got a bag of dirt. Like,
so I've been in more contact with Earth than any other human in that I've ever known besides the agency.
I've got a jar of dirt. You'll
Yeah,
never
just-
guess what's in it.
And guess
Yeah, no,
what's
I
inside it?
have plans for that bag of dirt, and they're nefarious.
Is
You
it
have
dirty
nefarious,
things?
you have dirty, nefarious plans? That's dude.
Hey,
This is just
And
like kids could be
you're
watching
suspicious
this,
of Hoshi?
right? The hell's wrong with you? You're dirty,
I mean,
filthy
he's
little
suspicious
mind.
of everybody. He's suspicious of Tanamichi.
Right? It's
No,
not personal.
and-
He thinks
or-
you're all
Kai-
shady as hell.
Kai believes Tanamichi's actually on the up and up.
Aw.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have concerns about the clan you're with, but I think we have bigger problems at this point.
But this is more. Is it safe to say this is more of a I'm judging your friends, not you necessarily?
Right,
Situation?
I'm judging the company you keep.
You
Right.
you keep unfortunate company, but I'm willing to
Uh-huh.
look past that for the sake of our professional relationship.
Yeah.
I've been known to do that with actual friends. Be like, look, I like you and no one else you know except for me. Like, look, I'd say it's not personal, but it totally is. Like, anyway, eventually everybody enters the building. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to point out, I'm still reading the schematic. They probably dragged me along
Sure.
from the bike.
Yeah.
The building itself is reinforced, but otherwise kind of boring. It's what you expect from a government building. The inside and the outside kind of look like if it was too wide, you could get lost in it. There's a lot of signage, but it's got a lot of big words on it that aren't super useful, and arrows that point to staircases that are intact, but not like pretty or nothing. It's a soulless, empty shell of a building. You could pack several families in here and it still would not be a home. Ugh.
So most government buildings got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
exactly what you're expecting from a government building. It
A
just
lot
happens
of-
to be me.
A lot of polished stone and pictures of important people that are no longer around.
Right. Yeah.
And that no one remembers.
Yeah. That too.
I like the cat stash you got.
Yes,
going.
it's lovely.
Yep. This is the only
See-
way he can be seen on camera during this game.
Apparently,
Directly
I was
in front
wrong.
of my face.
When my friend was like, "Hey, can you grow that back in a week?" You can. My bad.
Right.
Like,
You can grow that back in 5 seconds.
yeah, right. I was phoning it in. My bad.
Here, let me just hold this cat up to my face.
Right. That was like a 2-hour session at somebody else's house. I'm just gonna have to hold this.
It's no longer
Yeah.
Heather. It is Marcos.
Right. Marcos, is that who you are with the cat's up against your face?
Yeah. Yes. The chat wishes to compliment your quantum cat.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Like, hey, hello. This is Schrodinger.
What did you just?
Oh,
He
Did he
clicked
close
something
something?
with his tail and
Oh God.
did things.
He
Oh,
did things.
and do you have your
Anyway, hi,
Elvish
yeah, oh.
keyboard?
Mother fucking bitch.
Isn't she lovely?
Tell us how you really feel. Heather.
Well,
He
On
just
that
he turned off my volume with his tail.
Not that much. We heard you. Like-
No. For me, I heard
Oh.
nothing, and I
Oh.
literally got a
Oh.
sign that said "low volume, turn it up."
I've
So,
heard the thing
hold
about
on.
I've heard about the infinite number of monkeys, the infinite number of typewriters. Is there like an infinite number of cats, infinite elvish keyboards equals the Lord of the Rings eventually?
Probably. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, but in Sylvan.
that's funny.
No, in
I
Syndrome.
love it.
There we go.
That's good
Sylvan
times.
D&D in Syndrome.
So you get inside,
Yeah.
and there is a meeting hall that has, hold on, 7 chairs in it. And only one of them is currently filled. One of those is currently filled by the 2-foot woman you met outside, who is in the process of picking up what would
You
appear to
failed
be
to
a.
mention the 2-foot tall part. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
itty bitty.
I did not
That
get
was
that
the
part.
councilwoman, right? That we saved.
Yeah, Helgatha is like 2 feet high.
No
and
wonder
is,
the Tom could carry her.
Yeah, and is very
Yeah.
diminutive in the face. If it wasn't for the crazy sentient hair that keeps changing colors, she'd be really hard to spot in a crowd. She's
You
supposed
said
short.
Helgatha?
Helgatha, right. And she's a lot. She's busy reaching for what appear to be a battle axe. Yeah, given the technology on the space station, gravtech is a thing, allowing people to wield weapons and tools that have much more firepower or oomph or torque or whatever is applicable than they would usually be able to wield with one hand. But for the most part, this is like, hi, I'm a mechanic and I can wield the kind of machine that it used to take 4 people by myself. It doesn't usually amount to gladiator games. Helga, that has the kind of like an axe you might expect to find in Halo, like the video game. She looks very, very angry.
Which would I suppose that would make sense to have a melee weapon because projectile weapons on a pressurized environment would probably be considered kind of a no-no.
What? No.
And we said Evelion, and who else usually would go to the parties?
Avelian is a person of the people, just under 6 feet tall, charming, loves to talk, likes to eat. And the other one was, I know they're in here in my notes somewhere.
Oh, I reposted them in the shit we just made up.
Basil.
So I can
Basil
find
does a
them.
lot of hanging out.
Basil's the other one. Okay. Okay. Cool.
So she's just sitting there wielding her axe in the
No,
council room?
preparing it. She's like, she's
Adding
not
it?
actually like, oh yeah. So it looks like it's come out of a box. She's pulled it out from underneath the cabinet, like a in case of emergency, equip thyself sort of thing. There's like stormtrooper armor in there that's less bulky. It's very form fitting. And she's like, hey, so I'm gonna go find somebody to murder. I imagine that you're here to help with that in some capacity. I've never seen you before, and I make a habit to know everybody who lives here. Everybody, which means I've seen one of you before. I don't want to know how you got involved. I don't care how you got involved. Here's what's important. You're involved. Everything I know about everyone else I work with is on the desk. Knock yourselves out. Try not to get killed. If you get killed, I'll have to contact your families. That's a lot of paperwork. I'm not interested. Ta-ta. And she'll head outside.
Wait, I
Ooh,
want the
I
axe.
like her.
No, you don't.
I like her.
I like her.
No,
Yeah,
don't.
she
Don't.
is red
Can I do
you up and down.
Can I do an insight to try and determine when she says murder someone, which someone, like, is she going for the yokai someone, or is she going for the I'm the yokai and I'm gonna go kill another human someone?
Oh, you're trying to tell whether or not her like behavior is what outside of human parameters?
Outside of her parameters, according to our
Yeah.
dossier.
Wait,
Sure,
we
but the
should-
dossier you have backs up. She's rash and angry.
Mhm.
Was that not what you just heard?
That's exactly what I just heard. So I don't know.
But if you want to make an insight roll, go for it.
I'm not good at this, but we'll see.
Wait, shouldn't someone calm her down?
right, right. By
Yeah,
all
because
means.
the great thing
You
is
can
to
certainly try if you
somebody
want for.
who's
Oh.
holding a giant axe and telling them to calm down seems like that would go great for you.
And
It's fine,
when
just
none
give
of us
me
have
the
met her
axe.
before, and she's the councilwoman, I don't think any of
I
us
don't
have
think she.
authority to tell us.
I don't
So,
think she will give you
Helgatha
her
is
axe.
2 feet high, but has an
22.
axe that is 6 feet high and a double-headed axe head that's this wide.
I just rolled a
Oh.
d20.
Like-
That's not the system. This system's d6s.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Rena's following her.
With you.
So
I am too.
I'm going to introduce
Yeah.
a scientific subsystem that I'm sure won't bite any of you or me in the ass at any point in the future.
2 days,
Um,
3 successes.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm about to introduce a scientific subsystem into the world's physics that I'm sure won't dick me or you over at any point in the future.
Never.
Here's how the
No.
gravtech works. The reason that an ordinary person who weighs, I don't know, 90 pounds, because she's 2 feet high, she might weigh less than that, can wield an axe that in normal capacity would weigh 40 pounds, and all of it's on the business end and therefore be unwieldy as hell, is because you convert all the gravity that it, like all the mass that it represents. You just kind of turn it off and hold it. So while she's holding the axe, it weighs nothing. And then she turns it on, and all that mass goes in the business end with leverage.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm
That's
sure that
fucking
won't take any of
badass.
us at any point
No,
in any way.
not at all.
I
Like,
love it.
So, insight was a 6 and a 5.
6 and a 5 get you what? 3
Three.
successes?
3 successes
you
on
bet.
2 dice.
Go you. This is one of those moments whenever somebody says in the future when somebody goes, I can't roll that. The number's too high. Maybe you can. Like,
Mhm.
So Helgatha, I mean, you don't have any context, you don't have any comparative notes other than the dossier, but that sounds right. She's
I've been
furious.
trained how to look for yokai.
You bet.
So I'm more interested in making sure she's not.
So Helgatha doesn't give off any. Usually, yokai manifest some sort of something that stick out. They usually have some sort of physical trait. The mask doesn't completely hide their yokai selves, which they also usually like layer themselves up.
And the 2 feet tall isn't going to be what we can go on because according to our notes,
She's
the
always been.
councilwoman is 2 feet tall.
She is 2 feet high and has hyperactive semi-sentient hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's totally normal. but she doesn't have like you really scope her out, but not in a
Is it
creepy way as she
though?
leaves. And she doesn't have
her.
gills or weird little pinpricks
Normal
where
for
they
her.
shouldn't be. She doesn't
Okay.
have a second iris in her eye. Nothing
In
weird.
terms of what we were given to look for, she is not exhibiting things outside of what we were told she should be.
Nope.
I have a question.
Sure. Just one.
Just many, but one in particular. The semi-sentient hair thing.
What
It's
about it?
space.
Now,
Semi-sentient hair in space. Correct.
Yes.
I was under the impression that most of the inhabitants of this station, if not all of them, were, human.
Yeah.
Is that like an evolution thing? Because like I hadn't
Listen,
envisioned.
I'm not willing to get into a this or that theology over origin. I'm not willing to have that conversation right now.
So just
I
roll
would
with
go so
it.
far as to say that most science does not actually disagree with the concept of Abrahamic, blah, 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 blah. It just, at a certain point, early Earth creation is incompatible in the religious angle and the scientific angle. But outside of that, there's actually not that much of this.
So-
Some of the world's greatest scientists are
this-
Abrahamic believers. Is
Is
that not
this
why you were going
something-
with that?
No, is this something that like on the space station Kai would have seen from anyone else or any
Oh,
other
Right.
oh,
seen from
sorry.
anyone else? Is there any
That's what I
in
was
this
going for.
world?
Is like,
Is this a weird
My
thing?
bad.
is there like
It's-
a nanotech like
So-
infused into the hair like to
I
do
see,
the
yeah,
tendrils?
I,
Genetic splicing.
I went absolutely the wrong way with that. My bad. That is the correct answer. So I picture that the station is covered in the same technology that's covered in Neo Gotham in Batman Beyond, in that lots of teenagers, instead of doing drugs or something, that too, also splice their DNA for fun. So like that teenager today has cheetah eyeballs and maybe some fur, and next week has like dragon scales and whatever, because there's a chip that just goes in your neck that changes your genetic code. You swap it like you swap out earrings. It's not that weird.
Neat.
However,
Rena wants to
Shocking now.
find out where to do this.
Actually kind of cool as shit.
Can I
Hey, thanks.
get
Yeah, I
my
thought that was
hands
really
on one of
boss when I was
those?
11, and I've never gotten over it. I thought that was wicked cool.
What for? What'd you say?
Can I get so there's so much technology here and I'm having an absolute blast. Before we
You
leave,
gotta reel it in for.
Yeah,
You
Four.
gotta reel it in.
Game
Stop being
face.
so happy.
Eye on the
focus
ball.
up.
I am hyper focused.
On other things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the wrong thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not my fault.
When
Listen, you can't control the hyper focus. I understand.
when Helgatha walks out, Hoshi is gonna like kind of give her a long look and then just like a slight nod to herself and go over and look at the dossiers. Kitty.
You bet.
So now here's the question I'm going to have: are the dossiers that she has different from the ones that we have?
Mm.
We're gonna
Oh
see.
yes, what you have is like gathered up by the organization, right? Very technical, very brief. You got like a paragraph each. These are all hand scribbled notes, presumably by her. Apparently, she's paranoid. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you, right? Lots of red string push pins, that sort of
Oh,
thing.
we have no experience with that in this group.
None.
No, not at
Well,
all.
she is dropkick size.
Ah.
Oh, that's
No.
mean.
No, we are not sun punting the only lady,
councilwoman?
the councilwoman.
We are
Um,
not
wanna
sun
bring-
punting the councilwoman. That's a
I just-
great quote.
I just wanted to bring back the sun
Put it in the
punting.
Discord.
We are not sun punting.
I have lived years after inventing that in my own brain and not having a forum in which to use it. So the fact that you've taken to it warms my heart.
with the power
Moving
of the
on,
sun. Like, so currently I have the YouTube channel as patent pending, because I wanted to introduce that sign thing today, and I thought that was funny. But we are not sun punting the councilwoman is the new name of tonight's, like, because
Yes.
that's a winner. Like, that is some top shelf commentary right there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The highest of fives.
So what it should be is we have a, whatever your title is, and then at the end you just add one of the unhinged quotes as the
Oh,
description,
right.
And
and that's
we can,
it. That's
Yeah.
the description they get.
right. No, we can have the best of both worlds. We can Doctor Strangelove this.
What?
Because the actual film title of Doctor Strangelove is Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And,
Right.
and we can just do,
Yep.
the
That.
A and B.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite poems have names like that. Name or name or name.
So, yeah.
Tanamichi is gonna kind of sit at one of these chairs. Doesn't really give a shit who's just is gonna sit down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And will proceed to like tear a little bit of his clothing, kind of wrap it around his neck to kind of like make sure that everything's still
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's
covered.
It's a neck wound, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, are you like?
No, I'm not doing okay.
No, I'm not.
Like,
I am
can
not
we
what you might call thriving.
Can any of us like now that everyone's back here, can like anyone take a look at that and maybe like just sort of I don't know, slap some epoxy on it or
Epoxy.
just get some.
What are you, a building?
just get something to seal that up.
I also have an elixir,
Super
but I'm
glue.
concerned about using up all of our.
Yeah, I have some
Yeah.
elixirs as well.
And
That's why I was like, I
And
will take the
Hoshi-
one that Rena gave me, but like
yeah,
unless somebody
Ho-
has an extra one, I don't want you to give me my only or your only
Well,
one.
I mean, to be fair, Molly is like an herbalist, like just biologist type deal, so she can just make potions because like she's kind of in the specialties of like potions and poisons. So if she gives you some, she can just make more.
A space station. There's got to be like a health kit
Oh,
somewhere
there's
around.
hospitals
Yeah.
on the station. Because
Yeah.
as Kai might have mentioned, there is a legal, but it probably ought not be, but it is, so we can distract the people racing circuit where people occasionally get really badly hurt and sometimes straight up die. So I mean, there's medical stuff everywhere. Like
Yeah, and I mean, I'd probably have like a certain amount of small minor first aid stuff for sealing up wounds while I'm in, because I do have an anecdote from like my first day working vent stuff. It's deeply embarrassing to me personally, and you would find it completely normal. But I did learn about the whole like how to patch up a bleeding injury so you don't like contaminate the airspace kind of stuff.
Hoshi is gonna try to kind of do some, like, take our dossier we were given and take what Helgatha left and do some comparison and make, like, transcribe any information we didn't have or any of that over onto the dossier, but like in nicer handwriting and like organize it a little bit more as a way of helping organize her brain in collecting this information. But
yeah, do any of us have like a camera or recording device?
I have a
Hey,
yeah.
I actually do.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a recorder as well. I think you and I both have one.
So what you gain for the notes that are separate, right? There are no notes by Helgatha in them. She doesn't suspect herself,
Oh, for sure.
Right. She seems to think that only 2 of these people are suspect as yokai. Maybe that means that she doesn't know there are 3. Maybe she thinks there's only 1 and she's just not sure who it is. There's dossiers here, but there's no like journal entries to go with it. So you have like the end work of whatever her thought process is, but you don't have like her thesis statement.
Yeah.
Alarm bell.
Okay. Just now?
Yes, actually. She mentioned yokai in the notes.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, didn't we establish that the council might know about the agency?
We established that the council is the governing body for pretty much the entire plane that you're on. But the plane you're on is this station, the moon base, and that's it. Like,
right. And
like,
I would
And-
assume they know about yokai because the Earth got taken over by yokai.
well,
Yeah.
okay,
They don't know.
that
Oh.
yeah, that the calamity that befell Earth, I don't think is known exactly.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I'm confused, because if they are aware, that means they've either been read in by the agency, or she learned about this independently.
We still have contact with our handlers, right?
yes, they can see and hear everything you see and hear and think. You can also call them directly, though you are encouraged not to do that in any place where they might hear you.
Eclipse. Oh my
Rather, you're not encouraged to do that where civilians might hear you.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Though this room is probably as private as it gets. So
Hoshi is going to show whoever comes over if they want to see the
Yeah.
notes as she's copying them
Yeah,
down.
I'd like to know what information we get from those notes.
you bet. What you're getting from that is that Fazil hasn't been seen for weeks, but Helgotha notes that isn't completely normal. Fazil vanishes for a couple months at a time constantly. And they sort of call in to meetings when it's important. And they just know. There's just a 3D projection when it's time to have a big problem. Fazil just digitally appears in their chair.
Are the
And
chairs labeled perchance?
no. And Helga finds this very, very frustrating. Not in that it's rude that they don't show up in person or anything, rather that Helga doesn't know how they do that.
Yeah.
And that is annoying. Like, Helga leaves a couple of notes to suggest that they know basically nothing about Fazil. They have no reason not to trust them. They've never wronged them in any way, and they're always the voice of reason, and they still don't like them. They're like, nobody is that stable. Nobody.
Mhm.
And if you're disappearing for months at a time, it's not difficult to be replaced.
That
Yeah.
too. However,
Well,
they do
it's
know
also
that,
the question here being, has a yokai been on the council since its inception,
ooh, could be.
steering policy?
But
Being the mediator basically means you get to be the one
The
casting
deciding factor.
deciding
Right.
votes on everything.
Yeah. You don't really have any notes beyond that, aside from the two people that Helga thinks are suspect of being up to something. Or perhaps she is using the word demon, not yokai, but she thinks that Avelian and Tyron are both might be yokai. Maybe they both are, maybe just one is, who knows. The reason they think this is Avelian has been on the moon for 3 days. And that's really strange. Not because they went to the moon, that happens. But because Avelian makes a habit out of telling everyone everything they're doing. They're like an Instagram TikToker. Here's what I had for breakfast, right? Check out this Pop-Tart I ate. That everything.
Uh-huh.
I went to the doctor.
Mhm.
I'm going to the doctor. I've just left the doctor. Like their whole life is everybody else's business all the time. And they just went poof. And Helga only figured out they were on the moon yesterday after looking for him for 3 days. That's weird. That's never happened. Not in 30 years. That's super weird. And Tyron is on the Earth's surface. What's left of it, anyway. And I will see you in 15 minutes.
See, my thought is
okay.
actually that the first one he said might be a prisoner and not a yokai. 'Cause I think
Fazil?
I should have done their research and tried to match patterns as closely as possible.
Well, if you think about it, if we guess, we have more than a 50% chance of being right.
We have 5 people we suspect.
Yeah, but there's 3 yokai.
Oh.
Do we know there's 3?
Yeah, that's what we were told. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the agency knows anyway.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Concussion
So-
brain.
It is
Valid, even without that.
yeah, it's kind of safe to assume at whoever we work with is a yokai.
Yeah.
Because odds are they are.
And I don't know if I needed more successes Because my first thought is that she's going after the two humans and not the two yokai.
Oh,
It's a tall
okay.
order, though.
Now, 4. Stormy. But
Hey, he's got a point though because one of them is 7 feet tall.
Right?
Mhm.
I thought he was just making a short joke because now we're just
Oh, he was doing both. I was reading it
right
as
yeah
a short joke too.
I was like now we're just pulling notes straight out of the Watchmen
Yeah,
script.
now we're just being mean. All right,
Mhm.
I'll be back.
Mhm.
It was multifaceted.
We'll all be back after these messages. No, there may or may not actually be any messages.
This next episode is brought to you by the safety and health regulations on being careful before walking down your stairs. Symptoms may include bruising and concussion.
Does your cat walk into your space and put their butt in your face? I trust that you understand it's a sign of love. It doesn't matter that their butt smells like cat litter or that they fart right as it's near your face. It's still all a sign of love.
This video is brought to you by Mort's Mortuary. You stab them, we slab them.
That's so dark, Mort.
Because this game is so lighthearted.
I will say, actually, really related commentary. This is probably the most on task we've been as a group, like in the entirety of this game's runtime. We're like 9 episodes in. We actually got into the stuff fairly quickly. I'm actually kind of impressed, apart from the whole 20-minute lag to start.
I'm so proud of
Challenge
us.
accepted.
Yeah, like we definitely like just got to business and started off with figuring out what's going on.
We love that. Good for us.
Yay.
Got some momentum, positive momentum from the end of last session. We just kind of carried it forward. Bravo, team.
See, that just tells me that I'm the one that always gets us off task 100% of the time, and me showing up late and then eating dinner actually allowed us to start on time.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it's a collective effort.
Especially when we're talking about all of our fur babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
today's broadcast encourages you to actually take your fucking vitamins and take them consistently. And then don't be shocked when it actually, like, helps you regulate, including, like, your ability to sleep because you actually have iron in your system. That's not, for any reason at all. Just, take your meds.
Not relevant to anything.
No, not at all. Not even a little
you
bit.
personally. Now,
No.
see, I wasn't aware that iron had a relationship with your sleep.
So iron impacts, and if you get to a point you are anemic, and anemic can impact feeling exhausted. So
Been there, done that.
Go figure.
I was doing well at like eating foods with iron, and then I just didn't really do that the last couple weeks. And this weekend was like, why the fuck am I just so tired and low energy? And then yesterday, after sleeping for over 12 hours and still feeling like I could just put my head back down and go back to sleep, I was like, oh, that's what it is.
I love that
Oh.
realization. It's like, oh, the thing that I
Oops.
should be doing, I didn't do that, and now I don't feel good. Maybe I should do that again.
Right? And I will say, I'm doing good about taking my vitamins. I'm just not good about eating the foods with the vitamins in them, and that's a different issue.
Yeah,
Holy
there
jump
there are
cuts.
there are some fruit juices that are high in iron too.
Mhm.
That can be a nice little end around.
And what sucks is iron pills really do make me feel like I have a stomach bug.
Ew.
So I did iron pills for about 2 weeks, stopped and went, I'm stopping needing to call out of work. So I'm not gonna do those again.
That's so valid. I hated taking iron pills.
But a few years ago I had switched to some foods for different health things, and then last year found out I was anemic and was like, how long would make this, take for this to these many years? And I was like, oh, maybe when I made these changes, and my doctor goes, yeah, no, eat these foods. Go back to eating the foods you were eating, because that was actually doing your iron good. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Also, GM, I am heating up water for tea.
Sure.
So I will randomly disappear and grab tea. Clips, what do you want? He just materializes. He's been there the whole time. But with this background on, he just randomly materializes and disappears, and
he's like a ninja.
Oh, he's gone. No, he's not.
Nope, he's still there.
Right here. Here's his tail. Right, buddy. Mwah. This is what happens when I get home and then immediately get on the computer.
You didn't give him his allotted snuggle time, so now he's making it everybody's problem.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just his right.
So. It is. It really is. And I wouldn't mind if he was up on my shoulder. Him standing in front of me, ass first.
Yeah.
Fresh from the litter box, might I add. After he, that message was not random. It was, he hopped back up and I went,
Stinky cat took us.
Right?
Sophie did that earlier to me, but luckily it wasn't on camera.
That just means that she likes you more. And has greater respect for you than Eclipse ever will for me, and that's okay. I love him anyway. He is my sweet, good demon little baby. In how my elementary school teacher had described our class, he's my sweet angel whose halo is held up by his horns.
Yep.
Valid.
Feel that description fits. Me and him. Buddy. Yes, I'm talking about you.
Heather inspired me. I'm turning on the electric kettle for a hot chocolate.
Nice.
You know they make Reese's hot chocolate now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds so good.
Is it any good?
I'll find out on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Gotta wait for it to get sent to the house.
Uh-huh. So, how do you feel about going to Earth?
Molly's super excited.
Mm.
She gets to go back and touch grass. Like, this is her, like, dream. Gets to see rose bushes, touch grass, hug some trees. Like, she's thrilled.
Assuming that a yokai dominated Earth still has grass and trees and bushes.
It's the
Um,
yokai life for me.
The yokai necessities?
Mhm.
The concern I
The
think I have
concerned
is
yokai parent knows that you shouldn't put your child in front of a TV for too many hours at a time. It'll rot their brain. Not where you're going with that?
Yokai brains, it actually does rot and then it does pour out the ears, unlike
Like wet oats, you bet.
Yeah, yep.
Did you have
I mean, you did start that part of it.
That was the end of the description. That was done.
Incorrect.
Well, wait, there's more.
See, he gets it. Look.
But wait, call now.
Right.
No, don't call now.
Call
if you
now
want
and we'll
any
throw in
sanity
a
left.
fucking glow stick absolutely free.
Mhm. Mm.
only three easy
Although-
payments of $99.99.
99.99, correct.
I think my mug is appropriate.
Hey,
there-
Doctor Who, nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Doctor Who.
nice. The TARDIS explosion.
Yeah.
Very starry night. That's
Feels
nice.
on
Mhm.
par.
Yep.
Hey, look, Rain's back.
Well, yeah, I mentioned Doctor Who. I summoned her back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, didn't even hear that.
Huzzah!
See,
I don't.
this is my mug.
She heard the call.
Oh,
Yeah, as it's.
I like it.
Here we go. I've had this mug for a
Huzzah.
while. I just don't actually drink out of mugs this size very often.
Because it's too small?
Yeah,
Nah.
I'll
but this
get
is
my
as much tea as I would like tonight. So
Water
Get the-
good. Going to get it bad. Look at the size of this thing.
I'm also
I mean, the good news is you can fend off a home intruder with that.
You're damn right.
Uh-huh.
This thing's made out of metal. You're damn right.
Dang, that
Oh,
could give
damn,
somebody
yeah.
a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Are
is not
you
what
arguing that
happened.
that's what your stairs have? Did your
Right, are you
stairs
trying to
have a
tell them
water
that I
bottle
cl-
that they
I
whacked
did
you
not-
with?
Mm-hmm.
PSA, I did not go to Mackenzie's house just to club her with a water bottle.
But you did go to her house and club her with a water bottle, is what you
But
just.
you could have.
Maybe.
But you
I
could
didn't-
have flown all the way to Minnesota. Like,
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Listen-
Oh yeah. Some Midwestern vengeance, don't you know?
Well, you had to get that invitation somehow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the thing where it came in the mail wicked late, totally a cover
like 8
story.
months.
Yeah, it took fucking forever. Like,
That blows my mind.
right? I've had things come from like China that came in a couple of weeks. Like Christ on a crutch. Yeah, when this thing's full, I have to be careful when I put it on the ground because I'm gonna crack my fucking floor. I love this thing.
Damn.
Like, we saw that in I think a Target once, and I was like, "Oh, that's coming home with me." Like,
Uh-huh.
it's the biggest water bottle I've ever seen. Look at that thing.
That's too much. I just do one of these.
Aw,
Aw.
cute, like a normal human container.
Well, I
I'm
like
kinda
this
lazy.
instead of like an actual water bottle because I'll just sit and
It's
actually
the,
drink
it's the
the water,
straw, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then I just exist with it, and it's great. And then it's empty, and it tells me I need to go actually, fill up and
Get more
drink
water.
and not just slightly sip on it and feel like I've done nothing all day.
You
Mhm.
hacked your ADHD brain to get water.
Hey.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been using cups like these since right after college.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't have a consistent, oh, this
Excuse
is
me.
what I do at this time of day life, I can't, Joe, by the end of this time, I'll have finished drinking this amount of water, da 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 da. So this is the only thing that actually like makes me think
Keeps-
about drinking water because I don't think about it. As long as I have it right there, at some point, I'm just going to do this.
Yep.
And then I drink the water. So
Out of sight, out of mind.
Trick your
It's
brain.
So fun.
Hydrate,
Drink
don't
your
hydrate.
brain.
Hydrate, don't what?
Hydrate,
Don't hydrate.
dehydrate.
Or
die straight.
as one of my friends growing up, their dad would say, this started as an accident, and then it became a consistent, because we all knew what it meant. Drink your sunscreen.
What?
I mean, I guess.
Because we were at camp, and it was
But you need to
always
make sure the
drink your
insides
water,
are
put on
safe.
your sunscreen,
No.
and one day
Mm-hmm.
he just
It
missed a
just
few
went.
of the words, and so it's drink sunscreen. Got it. And then it became drink your sunscreen.
Drink your sunscreen.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon
I
a
don't-
time, Amber and I were trying.
that-
Go ahead.
The FDA strongly advises you refrain from drinking your sunscreen.
But
And
you have to
this
buy the
is where
special bottle.
communication
SPF
is about
interior.
comprehension, and did you actually communicate what you meant? Me to you guys, no clue. Me at camp, we're all good.
Once upon a time, Amber and I are trying to
I have not
put
drunk
together a frame of
sunscreen.
reference for time, and it came out weeks, as in days and weeks, when they all sort of
Mm.
whoosh
Mhm.
together. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, that's good. We're keeping that."
Yeah.
You got the
It's all
days, the
contractions, but
weeks,
for
the
words
whoosh.
that aren't normally added together.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
got the beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. Right.
Oh, I
Mike,
still
don't be
prefer-
worried. I have not actually drunk sunscreen.
Oh no,
Prove
I
it.
did. I didn't think you did, because if you did, you would probably be either dead or in the hospital still now.
10 years after the fact.
Fair
SPF
point.
interior. You got to coat the inside. Keep
and
it
you'd
your
be
Uh-huh,
cured
uh-huh.
of sunlight.
Right. Yeah. Can't let that nasty sun be getting inside
No.
of you.
Listen.
Fuck.
I am from enough of Scandinavia and North not North America, North Europe, that like I am allergic to sunscreen or allergic to the sun functionally. I'm not allergic
Same.
actually, but I basically am.
Becky.
The sun is a problem. What are you giggling at now?
Discord, you'll see it later.
I cannot believe you found a
God.
gif of somebody drinking
How?
sunscreen.
I literally just put drinking sunscreen.
And
Hey.
of course,
In the
of course, somebody has actually done it. Why wouldn't they?
It's always
Yeah.
sunny.
No joke.
That's why people have to put warning labels on everything. When you think it's common sense, somebody did something to have that
Right.
label. put
My
on.
favorite warning label I've ever seen that made me go, "Oh my goodness!" is so I live in the Northeast. We get a lot of snow, right?
hmm
And
Don't eat the yellow snow.
I spend a lot of time with rock
Lemon.
salt, right? Big old bag, right? It's the good stuff right there. USDA playground choice. Anyway, the rock salt comes with a big stamp on the side of it that says "Do not use for food or drink." That has got to be the biggest martini ever. God damn. Like who's
Those
doing
aren't
that?
little tiny little
No, yeah, those are chunks.
Yeah.
Those are chunks.
Like what
Yeah.
in the world?
I mean,
You know-
we also went through a whole phase where they were locking up all the Tide Pods.
Oh, they're still locked up at the grocery store that I work at.
Also,
Oh,
rock
yes,
salt
mine
is
too.
expensive. Who's in their house going, I'm making,
Ice
I don't
cream.
know, soup, right? Got to
Mhm.
put some salt in there. I'm all out of salt. I'll go use the expensive shit from the driveway.
No,
It'll be
it
fine. I just,
Yeah. Yep.
So
All right, we
here you
ready?
are.
It's back
Speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
warning
level.
labels, let's see who the fuck is a yokai.
Yeah, right.
Everyone.
They should
Maybe
come
even
with warning
you.
labels. You could
Mhm.
avoid this very situation if everyone
Yep.
you ran into came with a warning label that you
Mhm.
could
that
trust.
they were a yokai.
That
Right,
they're
right.
a person and you
Uh-huh.
can avoid them.
I am spraying myself with what? Human repellent.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Every
it's
itch
like
of its
deodorant.
dream.
Right, it's odorant. You know, it comes in wet dog, pee, right? Like
Isn't that just not using deodorant?
Yeah, basically.
like
Every
your body
time you make a comment like that, Jay, it makes me remember that you don't know Amelia Bedelia, and we need to
True.
fix that because
Okay.
you really should.
Well, there are a great many fictional characters about which Jay is tragically ignorant, and we're trying to
Name
fix him.
one. Name
Amelia
10.
Bedelia.
Fuck.
The entire cast of The Mummy.
That's on me. I
but
set the
that's
bar too
such a
low.
good movie.
That's on me. I set the bar way too low.
All right,
That's
are we
not
ready?
true. I know who Brendan Fraser is.
Who?
That's
The
the
act-
actor.
No,
That's not the
no.
character.
Okay, Brendan Fraser did a PSA for Comedy Central for an advertisement way back in the 90s where he literally made this joke where he's like, my name is pronounced Fraser, not Frasier.
No
If you
kidding.
say Frasier, I know where you live.
Fantastic. Did not know that. Lesson
Yes.
learned. Moving on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But again, that was the actor. That's not the character. Anyway,
Mhm.
He
so
said cast.
so
What?
we are. I mean, looking at the dossiers, does it give locations of where on the moon or where on Earth?
Earth, the final frontier. They just don't
I
make
mean,
planets like
Yeah,
they
'cause
used
we're
to.
all gonna die here.
presumably, I mean, I wouldn't say we necessarily need to.
No, that's the frontier of finality. It's different.
Okay. The moon, it's relatively would be easy enough to track just because there'd be shuttle traffic and stuff. The Earth travel, I mean, there's only gonna have been the one ship that went that way. uh, so, I mean, no one else is going to Earth. They know it's kind of, dead. Um, so if I mean, maybe there might have been like a probe that got sent there, but
Mm.
an actual manned ship being sent that went anywhere other than the moon would be rather remarkable. They would have
Right,
had to they would have had to drop off like every form of tracking.
So Tyron is on the Earth. Avelian is on the moon. Creve is here on the space station. It says where. They're in the public quarter, which is good and bad. It's good in that that's not that unusual. They do spend a lot of time where there are groups of people. The bad is that Creve tends to draw a lot of attention and spends a lot of time with other people, not because they enjoy them, but because their core talent and skill, the thing they're on the council for, is a deep-seated understanding of empathy and how to leverage it against other people in negative ways. The worst kind of empath. So Creve needs to keep their skills sharp and goes to large groups of people just to fuck with them.
Hence poor hygiene.
While everybody's looking at the dossiers, I think Tanamichi's just gonna kind of keep an eye out, like around the room, to make sure nothing sneaks up on them. Because after being
used as a chew toy,
something's lunch earlier
right.
today.
Oh, it was just a minor nomming.
Right. It was a nom nom, not a nom nom nom. You bet. It
Uh-huh,
doesn't say where
uh-huh.
Fazil is, just that they're missing. But it says that they're not present. The word missing is not used. That's because they're not missing per se. They just appear all the
We know
time.
where they are.
Well, we
just
don't.
know why they're there or what they're doing.
We don't know where Fazil
No,
is.
Fazil, not the one that's on the moon. Or on Earth.
Tyron is on the Earth. Avelian is on the moon. Fazil is somewhere. Hasn't
Again.
been seen for weeks. Not weird.
But that's
Perpetually missing.
Perpetually missing.
And
Right.
Creve is where?
Creve is here on the moon base. Here on the station, rather. In the social quarter, which is one level down, and is like one part party hub, one part market hub. Like the part of New York that never sleeps. It's on all the time.
Can I make an awareness roll to see if I see anything?
From here in this room? Because you want to make sure you don't get bit again? Sure.
Yeah. As he's
Fazil's
like
here.
holding his neck.
Elgatha is here. Ivelion is missing.
Well, if Helgotha wandered off with her giant axe, and the only person on station that the only other council member on station is Creve.
Who is she in the notes? She
does not suspect.
Right. She suspects Tyron. Tyron is missing and doesn't necessarily expect that as a yokai, just that is notes that is unusual behavior.
Tyron's the one that's missing. Wait, so
okay. Tyron is missing and on the Earth. Like they went to the Earth. Right.
Ivelion is
on the moon.
On the moon. Ivelion's the one on the moon. So Tyron's missing, Creve is here, Ivelion's on the moon, and Fazil's on the Earth.
Fazil is just missing who knows where. Tyron
Who did you say was?
Tyron is on the Earth. They're missing and on the Earth, which is to say they went to the
Tyron
Earth.
and Fazl are missing, but
Right.
Tyron was on the Earth.
The notes specify
Yeah.
that Tyron's trip to the Earth was expected. That's normal. They go to the Earth on a regular basis. But their trips always last exactly 6 hours, like return trip included. They've been gone for 2 days. That's bizarre.
Odd.
And their ship hasn't returned. And given the current score that is Earth, that is a concern. It doesn't say what the score that is Earth is, just that that's a huge problem.
So what's our next step then? Is it going to Earth right away?
That is a good question. Kai, you're the area leader liaison.
I'm
Intel box.
The local yokel.
You're the local yokel.
Local yokel.
Yeah. Hoshi no likey. Did you see that face?
I mean, me being the local yokel is
telling a little jokel.
Only marginally helpful in this particular instance, because as noted, now while Helgatha recognizing me by face is deeply alarming and a major point of concern for me, because I am nobody on this station. I am a grunt who works in the vents. I should not be recognizable. That's like the president or like the governor of Washington going to the local grocery store I work at and knowing my last name.
Yep.
She did mention as she was walking out that she knew everyone's
she
face
makes a
and
point
name
to
on the
know
station
everybody.
and pointed at the rest of
station
us
has
being, I don't know who you
10,000
are.
or more people on it.
Oh, yeah.
She has dynamic hair. It's possible.
She probably has something. No, my assumption is she has something either implanted in her eyes or whatever that will identify.
Some sort of facial recognition.
Yeah. We will probably. There is probably a registration system for everyone on board.
By the way,
friends
does
with
she
everyone on
have a
Facebook.
problem? Rena followed her. She's not in the room with you guys. She
that's right.
I feel like Molly's following Rena.
Helgatha has walked in. Remember the apartment building from which she was retrieved in the first place? She has marched back inside, and she is kicking in doors and threatening the shit out of everybody in that building. When I say kicking in, I mean it. Plant one foot, slam the door off its hinges with the other one. She is not subtle.
Also, Jay, when you have a chance, I messaged you a question, but it doesn't have to be answered right now.
There are 2 of us.
Yes, you.
Okay, just checking.
OGM.
Just checking.
On my awareness check, I rolled a 6, a 5, 2 4s, and a 3.
To check the room for problems?
For any kind of problems.
That's 5?
There are no problems aside from a little water damage in the ceiling. What?
Oh.
Tanamichi?
Yes.
Why is there water damage?
You cut off a little bit. What was the question?
What you said? Water damage in the ceiling.
Water damage, yeah, a little like wet spot. Somebody ought to replace that ceiling tile. It happens. You ever been in a government building?
I don't know. Isn't that your job to fix that kind of stuff?
Ouch! Like that was.
Hoshi will be in the middle of copying some of this over and will badly hide a giggle.
One of my quirks is deadpan.
Yep.
Damn!
It hasn't gotten to come out very much.
No, you will say that
to
Kai, and Hoshi will literally go, and then keep copying.
How should I know?
Damn, right in the job prospects. That hurts.
You ride the bike last.
I don't know if I want to get on that thing.
Right.
It's great.
Tanamichi's over here going, some of us don't crawl around in vents for a living. Like,
Thank you.
What was that? That sounds swell, but I don't pick up peanut shells, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah. So anyway,
while
they're
Dang it.
reading over dossiers and the other two are hunting down Axe Lady, I'll go poke around to see why there's water leaking at the ceiling of the top floor of a building.
In space.
In space.
I still want to go look for a med kit around because, like, there has to be some kind of med kit in this room.
In this room?
Or, like, nearby.
Building, like a first aid kit in a government building,
Yeah, there is a self-repair station on every, there are, excuse me, 2 of them on every floor. So the nearest one is like 50 feet from here down the hallway.
Probably right next to AED.
Where's the other one?
The other one, so the building is wide enough that having multiple stations on each floor is a good idea. But the floor isn't 100 feet across, right? So the other one is like 20 feet from the one you're at now. The building is set up like a big cube with rooms in the middle and rooms on the edge and a track in the middle. So you've got one station here and one station here with rooms in the middle. That these 2 rooms connect for that very reason. But most of them don't.
Whenever I find it, I'm gonna head back to try and get Tanamichi to come with me.
Okay.
To fix the gaping neck wound.
Yeah.
Or don't steal anything.
Touch only the lamp.
I will try to keep an eye on that.
I'm
Hoshi,
going
to answer
to
your
try
question,
and take it apart.
It is, but it's also very isolated.
Okay.
The people outside the isolation don't know the place within the isolation even exists.
Yep. Okay. That's what I thought, and then I was like, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm reading that wrong? Okay.
I love how nobody on the call is like, what the fuck? What?
Mike's making the face. Mike's making the face of what?
The isolation. Ooh,
the how to fuda? The huda wada?
The hudo hamana?
The huda wada? All right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's what I think you said.
So who's going upstairs? Kai, to check on the bathroom?
No, I'm not going upstairs. I'm literally just gonna poke the ceiling of the room I'm in.
Oh, you bet. You poke it a little bit, the ceiling tile above you crumbles. It's wet and soggy and gross, and just a little bit of it falls apart. You can see up there, there's a broken pipe. Well, broken. It's leaking. It's not like a water main, right? But it looks like there's the space in there has been hollowed out, in that you can see the pipes that run up to the bottom of the underneath, like a vanity. You're looking into the bottom of a bathroom on the floor above you. There should be more floor between those things. There's a little bit of fur up there.
She's gonna finish writing everything down and turn around and go, where did everyone go?
I'm literally standing on like a
yeah,
cabinet.
And then she sees you and sees you like poking and just what? What are you doing?
Wet that that white spongy looking ceiling tile nonsense.
You're not there. You're with
when you poke it, it falls apart and fluffs down. And there's like little clumps of it stuck to you with what looks like silvery brown fur. An individual hair is about this long.
Are those perchance the same colors of fur as the sluas?
Oh no. Slua aren't fuzzy. They're slimy, like fishmen.
Jay, are you getting inspiration from my cat right now? Getting lost in the walls.
Cat in the wall.
Oh no, not on purpose. Anyway.
I'm gonna try and like shine a light around in there, trying to see if there's anything else.
You bet. You before I get back to Rena, who decided to follow the angry woman. There is, which is probably just every woman ever, huh?
If you say that.
That's not what I meant. I meant in like an injustice sort of way, not in a all women are angry kind of way. That's not what I meant. You shined your light up there, and there is wet, as in water damage, but also looks like a little bit of blood and what looks like a human, except all their insides are gone. So it's more like a human suit. It's folded.
Oh, an Edgar suit.
Oh.
Does it happen to resemble one of the council people?
Look at that face. Jay, it was good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Does the face happen to resemble one of the counselors that's missing?
There's only face left.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll just. No. Okay,
No.
I was gonna make the Men in Black reference, but okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of use.
He's a Balchinian. You're kicking in the wrong spot.
No, that's Men in Black 2. That is an exponentially lesser work. We do not reference that movie.
I disagree. I loved it.
Oh God.
I mean, it was terrible, but I loved it.
That's better.
It was awful, but one of my favorite movies is Bulletproof Monk, which is trash. I just love it anyway. Like, look, joy is separate from objective quality. Okay,
but people like Spaceballs.
I like Spaceballs.
This doesn't answer the question I've asked you.
So do I.
Does the face resemble
which one of the
council members?
Yeah. That was the question. I thought it was does it represent somebody we know?
No, does it represent
one of the council members
specifically?
No, it does not look like a council member. It looks like Kai.
The fuck?
It's kind of droopy because there's no like bones or nothing in there for it to hang on. But with structure, it would look exactly like you.
I don't love that.
Which part?
No.
Any of it.
All of it. All of the above.
All of it's terrible.
Did Kai have a twin?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Are you sure?
Here's the thing.
It's not like parents ever lie or anything.
Would Mike, knowing
Brother from another
this is
tube?
where his actual character's body be hidden, go and poke it? Probably just to throw us off.
Sibling from another tube, right? A clone from another bone. You know what I mean?
I was thinking clone.
What are we doing? The mole? Okay. Hey, you guys. There's a hastily discarded me suit in these vents here, and
did you say meat suit or like me as a you suit?
Me.
Both are fair, I think. Like
the person.
Well, I guess it's not that much for meat suit. There's almost no meat in there. It's like you took all the sausage out of the casing, but
don't
skin
call
suit.
it a skin suit.
So okay, pause. I don't want to do a thing, but there's a thing that I think Hoshi would do, and I don't like PvP.
But I hear a butt coming.
I don't like PvP.
I hear a butt coming.
I think if she sees that it's a you suit, you're gonna turn and just have her crossbow aimed at you.
Oh, that's not PvP. That's a threat of PvP.
I'm aware. I don't get close to that typically if I can avoid it because I don't like it. So she's just gonna turn it, and it doesn't look like she's like about to fire necessarily. She's very defensive rather than on the offensive, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna hold up the me suit in front of my face and just like.
You climb up there to get it?
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're
just use a little hook. Just hook your.
Yeah, I was gonna pull it down. And just let it.
The vents.
Pull out your crochet needle, reach up there, and pull that down. Don't.
Yeah, just.
I have ones that are probably long enough.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking just like reach up with like either like my little like rope dart thing.
She's going to look so just like defensive against you in this particular moment and just go, you want to explain?
I'd love to. I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. I
want to do a fucking insight.
So, did you say you pull that down and hold it up?
Yes.
Like comparatively.
Yeah, right.
No,
you
no,
like
no.
hold
I
it up,
literally just all like hold it up in front of my face, like so you know. Weight
you think I can pull this off?
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah. Can I do an insight?
I was going on a radical diet plan, and
oh wow, that is some extreme fasting right there.
Oh my god!
Like Gandhi jeans, size 1 and below.
Jay,
Like,
can I do an insight against
of
Kai to
course.
see if this Kai genuinely doesn't know?
Sure, yeah, you bet. Kai, if you're holding that up, are you holding it up face to face or the other way
No,
around?
both faces, mine and its, are facing towards. Well,
Yours and
it's
yours,
It has
yeah,
a
I
name.
understand.
It's is flopped over. I'm
It.
Kai is right now. Literally, it wants to check to see whether they got fake Kai anatomically correct or not.
So
But
I got
is not going to pursue that.
two fives to see if this Kai genuinely doesn't know.
Kai has no fucking idea.
Fuck. Okay.
Like,
She will put the crossbow down and just kind of get in your face and go.
so a couple of differences that might help you level out this conversation. Not that you don't have to level out this conversation.
But she will say, when we figure out what this is, you owe me for not shooting you in the face.
This might be why the councilwoman recognized his face.
So,
oh,
Kai, you'll find that there's no bits. Smooth like a Barbie doll or a Ken doll. I don't know. I've never had them. I assume they have no like parts.
Yeah, they have nothing.
Smooth like an action figure, right? Nothing. But if you have any other elements, like, I don't know, a mole on your butt cheek, that'll be there. I should clarify, when I say no parts, I mean you don't have a seam back there either.
I will relay to the rest of the group, Kai included, that based off of his reaction to my having a crossbow in his face, to the what is going on, that I believe he doesn't actually know what's going on with this and isn't involved.
There is a noticeable drop.
Thank heavens.
There is a noticeable drop in the quality of the stitching. In any part where people might not see, like Kai, I assume that Kai doesn't do his job with his shirt off, given that it's gross. No? Yes?
Well, not just that, but like Kai is not like in the business of advertising
all of this,
the particulars of their anatomy.
I see.
So
any place that you would not be consistently visible while you did your job is of lesser quality than the rest of it. Your, like, the face is perfect, the hands are perfect, the chest area looks a little less so from like here down.
Right. So now so this was done based on a visual scan, not on a DNA replication.
Oh yeah, this is a bunch of individual, like, this is a Frankenstein's monster situation. There's multiple
probably pulled
different
from video cams.
This isn't one big, like, they didn't 3D print this. There's multiple different pieces of skin stitched together to make this.
But it's actual human skin?
I mean, how you want to check? Like, if you're asking if this is creepy as hell, yes. Is it actual skin? Definitely. Is it human skin? Probably. Again, how you want to check? Like,
what is it possible for me to make like a knowledge check to see if there's any yokai we can remember from glossary that has a habit of trying to make skin suits?
Sure, go for it. Feel free to roll with an extra die because the oh my god, the agency, now that you're like actually on the books and shit, would have given you intel for that sort of thing.
Does Takamichi get to also make one?
Anybody who wants to gets to make
so
one.
much about
because I got all my full count.
Yay! What'd you get?
2 6s, 5 4, and a 2.
Ooh,
that extra die was
6 successes.
6 successes and no detachment.
No ones.
I know. It's the first time I did roll a 1.
What you're looking at is almost certainly the work of a Grecanil. Grecanils are sentient grave dirt.
Oh, fun.
That are essentially jealous of other things, more traditionally living lifestyles, which is to say they don't breathe and they have this sort of obsession with the concept. So they steal the air from things that can breathe, by which I mean they take it right out of their lungs.
Oh, so it's in the vents.
Reckonils are not invisible. They are usually a heavy green gas that is heavy enough it's difficult for them to move, what with the dirt and everything. So what they usually do is stay in one place because it's easier, usually in a grave site. Usually graves are next to other graves. Somebody's bound to visit somebody they care about eventually. When that happens,
there's no graves anywhere
Refuge. That is a good right.
I was gonna say, but you just brought a fucking jar of dirt from Earth up here.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
What's in your jar of dirt, Kai?
Is your jar of dirt still...
It's a Ziploc baggie from our handler's house.
Is it still in its
are
baggie?
yokai?
In the pocket.
No, who said
they're not yokai?
Nope, they're not yokai. They
in
did
the pocket
who have a daughter who's yokai.
Yeah.
Close.
My immediate thought is then the council member that went to Earth recently and then didn't return.
So if Kai checks his bag, he'll find that his bag contains a Ziploc bag that contains dirt that does feel lighter than it did before, but looks the same. In that Greconil gas can only leave the dirt for short periods of time without something to collect into. A container, perhaps a container that looks like a person, so they can wander around and get more impressive people.
So did you bring your own creator of your own skin suit with you?
Now I bet you're regretting taking that jar of dirt, huh?
So the whole
I've got a jar of dirt. You'll never guess what's in it.
Makes a lot more sense now.
You really never will guess what's in it.
What's Rena and Molly up to? Because they followed after our very fun friend, didn't they?
Helga is in the process.
Wait, hold on a minute though.
Hold on a minute. What?
Because the timeline of this doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because this thing would have had to have existed on the station before I arrived here with dirt.
If this is the yokai that's pretending to be a council.
Well, hold on. Why would it have to have been here before you?
Because it would have had to have time to assemble the skin suit of skin when we've only been on this station for maybe, 20 minutes?
Firstly, superhuman speed is a thing that yokai possess. Some of them. Second, there are pictures and video footage of you. They don't need you to build a simulacrum of you.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
So they could have built it.
But we were sent here. We were sent here to deal with the yokai impersonating
someone
the
else
council
built
members.
The skin suit. You show up, it crawls out, it does blah blah blah.
But they would have to know that I was coming with said dirt to the place in advance.
I've got a jar of dirt. Yeah. Or maybe it escaped and just went to town quickly
while we were figuring out the slow ass yokai, which we never actually figured out if that thing affects other yokai or if it just affects
the Tom, because you hugged it into oblivion. Like the ultimate snuggle.
And we still have the other Sloa out there.
You bet.
Who wasn't moving slow and didn't seem to be affected by the Tom at all.
No. So Molly and Rena, you've gone after Helga, who is busy interrogating the people. And by interrogating, I mean picking up with one hand, which is difficult because she's only 2 feet high and the gravity thing doesn't make her taller or stronger or anything. So mostly it's the axe, right? Mostly the thread is in the axe. Though the hair is capable of wrapping around people. It is just as much grip as one of your hands. And she is busy threatening these people's children to get intel out of them. In order to get intel, you don't hurt the person, you hurt the person that person loves, right? She is busy threatening the crap out of these people's kids, their dogs, whatever it takes, to come up with nothing. The question she's after is, where the hell the lizard guy, the Tom came from. She thinks that the people know. Would you make a Helgatha is rash and on the city council for various reasons, but her cool demeanor and observancy skills is not it. Would you make an awareness check, the two of you? Sorry, that's the wrong one. Would you make the insight roll, because you're studying people, not the environment. Though you could do an awareness check too if you wanted. But mostly you're just looking at apartment buildings.
Can I do awareness instead?
To see what's going on in the room, yes. To read the people, no.
Because I have 6 for dice for rolling awareness and only 3 for insight.
So those are 2 different skills. You could do both, but awareness is what you see in the space around you. Like insight is reading people, not the room.
I feel like Molly would read the room.
Sure, you bet.
So
I did not do well with that, even though I had 5 rolls.
Oh.
It was a 5, a 3, a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Oh, so it negated the 5.
Yep.
But that means you're busy studying these people, which Helgatha takes as evidence that she is right.
I'm not studying the people, I'm studying her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
In which case she'll shift to, what the fuck are you looking at? As she pins one of these people against a wall.
I'm just admiring you at work.
Well, that's
I'm not
very
getting
nice.
any answers.
Yeah, I know. I'm frustrated. She'll pick up one of the children and go, "Do not make me harm this child." And the adults are like, whoa, we really don't know anything. Look, he came out of nowhere. And she'll get up all the business and go, define nowhere. Nobody comes from nowhere. It's a space station. You can't just teleport into it.
well, I mean,
about that.
About that.
Again, secret organization.
Yeah, no, Rena's gonna be like, well, you remember how you felt when you got close to it?
Yes.
Anybody that gets close to it would feel that same way. So do you really think somebody that you help these people, you rule them, would willingly bring that on
themselves
and then not get killed in the process? Because I mean, you were almost dead by the time we got to you.
Yeah, because anyone who would go like open a door for that thing would basically be dead on impact. So I think you're looking for the wrong people.
You watch her whole, like, she heats up and then immediately cools off and goes, "Firstly, I don't rule anyone. We are a team. And we work for the betterment of the city. Although I imagine at this moment it might not look that way. But make no mistake, there are no rulers here on the station."
Sorry.
But Basil tells me all the time that I need to work on the rage. It's what I'm on the team for. I'm the part of the team that sometimes we do a lot of talking and not a lot of doing, right? And sometimes you need somebody to kick you in the right. But sometimes the anger gets a little too high. And she'll put that person down and like pet them on the head, which is difficult because she's 2 feet high, and go, "I'm terribly sorry, citizen."
At that point, they're probably cowering anyway.
Right. I'll have a dispatch sent from the office, though I won't know that won't make it better. And she'll look genuinely sheepish, like she'll look even smaller if that's possible. The axe will shrink back down. She'll go, "Excuse me," and she'll leave the building. Molly, what'd you get on your roll?
I got 4 2s, a 6, and a 5. So 3 successes?
You bet. You notice that over in the corner in this otherwise totally normal 1-room studio apartment, the hallway you passed her, this is like the 4th apartment you've been in. They all look the same. It's very like beige carpet with a mystery stain on it, right? It's all the same nonsense. But this room looks too small. Like that the left wall should be farther back if it's the same size as all of the other apartments. And I don't mean they're kind of the same. I mean they're all exactly the same. There should be like another 6 feet to this room on the left side.
Molly just struts over and starts like knocking on the wall and pushing on the wall to see if there's like a lever to open or get into this room.
The people on the floor over there who are cowering will stand up straight. No, wait, stop. There's nothing to. As you find a candlestick and pull it, and there's that like spinning bookshelf number.
Is it a candlestick or is it like an electric sconce or like Harry?
Oh, it's a candlestick. It sticks out big time. Like nobody actually
very clearly the lever for the door.
Right, yeah, it does not belong there. If Helga had cooled down for a second, she might have noticed that. Like it's a brass candlestick in a place where everybody has, like, even the poorest person has abundant electricity. Like
Yeah.
a brass candlestick is fucking strange. You pull on that and you do the Scooby-Doo ancient mansion. And you're in a hidden room. You know. For what it's worth, the books on the bookshelf are real. They fly off. The bookshelf spins too fast. The books fall on the ground. And you hear a lot of swearing from the other room.
Dare you do that to the book? And that's not
she
Molly,
just
that's
stands
Jay.
there and yells, Rena!
You are looking
Rena!
at what looks like a launch pad for like a one-person spaceship.
She will turn to the family and be like, "What is this?"
Look, the council, the member paid us big money to not say anything. I mean, that's a council member. You can trust them. They paid us a bunch of money, and we would have trusted them anyway. They wanted to
Which
put in
council
the
member?
Tyron. They're unnerving, okay, but they're on the team, and they've never done us any wrong. And they wanted 6 feet, because it's 6 square feet of our apartment. We weren't using it anyway. And you look around the room, and they do live more Spartan than the other 3 apartments you were in. They're like, we didn't need the space. We could use the money.
When did he use it last?
On Earth.
He was here 3 days, 4 days. He
So
comes
he
and
uses
goes on
this. He uses this as a way to leave the space station.
Sure. We don't actually know what's on the other side of the bookshelf. That's part of what we got paid for. Don't touch, don't pull, don't look.
Okay.
All we know is that he
Hold on.
comes in.
Did it do a 360 and dropped Molly off on the other side, or did it do a 180 and what was on the other side is now in the room?
Oh, no, it does a full spin and pulls Molly to the other side, which means for a brief second you would have been able to see what's on the other end.
And that's all
And
you
I'm
get.
still on the inside, correct?
Right, you're looking at there's a place
Okay.
where a space station, a little tiny spaceship, like a one-seater, should fire off. There's a clear hatch on the side of this wall. Like it would just shoot out the side of it like an escape pod.
Can I see if there are any coordinates
Sure, yeah.
to like find a location?
There is a little tiny launch computer in the corner. The ship itself is not here, but there is a computer in the side. While something like this would probably be very clandestine, obviously, right? And therefore not the kind of thing you'd probably like to write down. Spaceship tech doesn't actually work all that well without a series of backups. This isn't Mass Effect. You can't bounce a spaceship like the head of a pin to another. It's not like that. So there's a lot of electronic bookkeeping. This ship launched 4 days ago to those coordinates, say planet Earth, specifically the northern cap of planet Earth.
Oh, nothing ever.
Like North Pole, like Canada, Greenland,
Well,
like where
North
about
Pole, but both the polar ice caps, both of them, and the gravity poles of our planet were absolutely obliterated. So Earth isn't covered in like valleys and green stuff. It depending on where you are on the planet, it's either absolutely obscenely hot or the same thing cold. That's it. There are giant salt deposits everywhere. Nobody lives on Earth. And what's left of it floating in space is like a third of what it used to be. A lot of it was just destroyed. There's no legitimate reason to go to Earth. There's nothing there. Nothing grows there. Nothing lives there. It doesn't have the ozone layer is gone. Like,
so we are aware that he goes. We were told that we know that the council knows he goes to Earth.
Right.
So why the hidden escape pod?
Perhaps because it is I could probably tell you this, that Earth is anything anyone goes to in any way is would be something of a revelation to pretty much everybody on the station. As to why that Earth is a theoretically travelable location is a secret. Who knows?
Gotcha.
But the standing story is that Earth is a char mark in space.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
I found our next location.
All
So
right.
Molly jots down the coordinates, figures out how to like spin herself back, kind of grabs Rena by the arm and like pulls her. She's like, "We're going," because
Okay.
she's just ready to go find and get this mission taken care of.
That's one
Sounds
of
good.
them, though. We still have at least 2 more yokai on station unaccounted for, who, or at least on between here and the moon, who could get up to all kinds of shit while we're out.
I just realized.
There.
Did Helgatha, or I can't remember her name.
Helgatha.
Yeah.
Helgatha,
What about her?
Notice my wind?
Oh, if you didn't turn that off, yes,
No.
probably. It would
Okay.
have it would have tussled her hair all over the place. And she would have leaned into it in an attempt to look more menacing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Before we wrap it up for the night, where are we going next? Are you ready to leave the station and go look for other people? Or have we not decided on that yet?
I think since we're here, we should probably figure out
I think we should
here because he's still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find we need to account all the other members that are supposedly still here before we go to Earth.
Yeah.
So, like Kai said, there's still other wandering yokai.
There's still there's at least Dirt
An
Cloud.
invisible one.
And that may or may not. I'm still fuzzy on how that works. But Creve is here, and we need to at least investigate and evaluate and clear him. Because it would suck if we left to go pick up the one, and then they just replaced Creve while we were gone. You know, and then we're right back to square one.
As the two of you head outside, like to go reunite with the rest of the team, you'll hear a couple of squelching noises from the door you just left.
Squelching noises?
Squelching noises.
That
like
family's dead.
Molly turns around to figure out what happened.
Yeah, Rena will too.
You bet. If you go back inside, you'll find that family has been shredded like a cat with a piece of chicken. They are everywhere. They're on the walls, they're on the floor, they're on the window.
The thing's stalking us and has realized that it can't enter into my air, so it's following us for the very reasons.
You don't see any evidence beyond the shredding, but there's no like bloody footprints or anything.
Of course.
And I will see you next time.
I just want to, before we
yes.
go away, I just want to canonically state that I do wrap up the skin suit like a bedroll and just put it in my bag.
You never know when you're going to find it useful.
It's evidence.
You can wear you out on the town.
I have no intent.
Where did you get it?
I think this is either
it's handmade. Like it's custom.
Who's the designer?
This is either the Slua that followed and can't get through the wind, or
brings a whole new meaning to who are you wearing.
Right? Yes. Maybe he's born with it, maybe he's Cabeline.
Myself.
Right? Oh, that's nasty. You are terrible people. You know that? You're just the worst.
Could we have found in that time the medical kit and got me patched up so I'm back at 11 vitality?
Oh, I was wondering why 4 went off to find it. I assume that was to do you a favor. Favor. The team, to restore the team.
Also to take it apart when we're done.
The med kit or the skin suit?
You said it was like a mechanical med station.
Yeah, right. So because some of the people on the station aren't traditionally living. Some of them have mechanical parts. Various cyborg upgrades are fairly common. A mechanical eye, a prosthetic hand with fingers that move, like servos, that sort of thing. Not robot people, but traditionally living people with advanced prosthetics. You never know. So there's med kits in there and literally little bundles of screws and such. The little tiny end, like there's a couple of magnet plates, because sometimes things get unmagnetized, and usually it's actually not that hard to remagnetize a thing. You're good to go. So it's not something you like.
Yeah. So it's not like a 40K kind of med station where it's like a entire thing encapsulated that heals you.
It's a bunch of individual parts in an overgrown like med kit from your bathroom. You know, so instead of like band-aids and gauze, you have screws and magic healing gel.
Tanamichi's gonna see if there's anything to kind of make sure that his like prosthetic arm is like
Functional.
I have some oil in my bag, probably.
That might work, yeah.
Yeah, it's an engineering toolkit. There's probably something in there.
Little WD-40.
Thing took a chunk out of my neck. There's nerves there. I just want to make sure this
because the formula, because the world's not ready for Formula 410. There's Formula 409. You bet.
I will see you next time.